Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, everyone. Inshallah, today we're going to be working on our video number 21. We will continue, inshallah, with the words from, of course, the most often words used in the Quran. Our goal is in this class is to, inshallah, understand about 80% of the Quran. By the time we're done with everything here, then we should be able to. When we recite the Quran directly, so we don't have to reach out for a dictionary or some kind of translation. So we will, inshallah, be able to understand it from within. We can understand each word, what they mean. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. The first word for today is, let's see, we have Amr. Amrun. So, and then the plural for this would be umur. Okay. And the meaning would be, this is like a a matter, command. This is, it could be an affair, a thing, situation, things of that sort. So the example we have from the Quran is قُلِ الرُّوحُ قُلْ الرُّوحُ قُلِ الرُّوحُ من أمر ربي. أمر ربي. And then it continues. So let's highlight our word Amr. So here, excuse me, it means, it says قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. Say to them that ar-ruh, meaning our spirit or the spirit, is from Amri, meaning it's a matter from Allah. It's a command from Allah. It's an affair from Allah. It's something that it's coming from Allah. Rabbi, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Prophet ﷺ to tell them, because they were asking about ruh, and they were like, tell us about ruh. And then since we don't have a lot of information, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not given us a lot of information as far as the ruh is concerned. So we don't know, even in our texts and our books of tafasir and all of these things, we don't have a whole lot of information about ruh, as far as like, we have bits and pieces, but overall, really nobody knows what ruh is, or the spirit that is in our body. So when we pass away, our bodies are still here, but the ruh that is inside, the spirit that is inside of us, it comes out and it goes back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so this is something that we don't know, but we know that it does. Obviously, it's something that is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So based on their question, and so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Rasul that, tell them that the ruh is from min amri rabbi. It's a command. It's something. It's from my Rabb. It's coming from my Rabb. Okay. Excuse me. The next word we have is, I'm going to go ahead and leave that there, but right next to it, it's going to be the word, let's see, but yeah, I can write it down here. Taqwa. Taqwa. Okay, let's give the root here. It's Hamza Mim and Ra. Taqwa, and the root is Wa, Qaf, and Ya. Excuse me. Taqwa. Taqwa means several things, as we know soon. It means, first of all, piety. It also means sometimes fear, protection, like awareness. So here we have an example from the Quran. But innaha, of course, there's something before it. But innaha min taqwa al-qulub. Min taqwa al-qulub. Al-qulub. Qulub. And it continues. Okay, let's highlight our word, taqwa. Excuse me. فإنها, it's talking about something else obviously before it. فإنها من تقوى القلوب. And so it is a piety of the heart, of the hearts, because it's qulub, so it's plural. So it's talking about more than one qalb. So فإنها من تقوى القلوب. So if there's something before it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about, and then it says that, and it is from the piety of the hearts. Okay, since we are not having enough space, let me go ahead and erase this, and I will be right back. All right, inshallah, we'll come back. Let's see. So I just kind of mentioned, forgot to mention just a little bit a minute ago when I had the word taqwa on the board. That's something that, because it repeats a lot in the Quran, and then in different forms, it comes like the word al-muttaqina. Muttaqina. So the word taqwa is in this word, muttaqi, taqi. Okay, so that's another word that we have, taqi. Taqi. These are all words that has to do with, like we talked about, has to do with piety, has to do sometimes ittaqullah, meaning the translation, sometimes they translate it as fear Allah or fear God. And then some translations, it means like be mindful of Allah, be aware of Allah, be God conscious. So these could be all translations for this word. So there's a lot of translation for this word. And also we have the word, so this goes through some grammatical changes, but then this actually, you might think it's just a letter, but this is actually, it's a word. So when we say in the example, wa qina. So here we have, excuse me, two separate things here. So you see qi is qi here. So that means to save us. This qaf with a kasra here, it means save us. Na, meaning it goes back to the plural nahnu, for us. So we're telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or we're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that waqina adhab an-nar, and save us from the punishment of the fire. So I just wanted to point this out because this word is coming in the Quran in so many different ways. Al-muttaqun, al-muttaqin, ittaqi, ittaquna, all of that. So it's going to be part of that. All right, so let's just clean our board and move on to the next word. The next word I have here is haq. Okay, so the root is ha and qaf, and translation means truth. What else? True, right. Okay. And okay, so the example we have here, inna wa'adallahi haqqun. Inna wa'adallahi haqqun. Okay. And then I think it goes on into something else. But for us, here's the word haq. And of course, the meaning is truth, true, right. So these are all, and I think there are some other meanings as well, depending on the context of what we're reading, inshallah. So the translation would be, of course, there's something behind it, as always. Inna wa'adallahi haqqun. No doubt, the promise of Allah is haqq, meaning it's the truth, meaning that it will come to be. Another way of looking at it, because his promise is the truth, so his promise will come to be, meaning also in this context it could be as like for the end of time, the day of Qiyamah, on all of that, because Allah has been telling us all along in the Quran, giving us examples and methods from different prophets and different surahs, and all of that, and to let us know that this is coming. And of course, the Quran itself is al-haq, meaning it is the truth. Okay, so the next word we have is batil. So let me erase this so that way I don't have to keep changing our board. Batil. And this is like, so let's give you the root. Voila. Means false. Okay, let's change our pens. Falsehood. Wrong. So there's a lot of meanings like that also in here. So the example we have for you guys is Ya Ahl al-Kitabi. Ya Ahl al-Kitabi. Kitabi. Lima talbisuna. Talbisuna. Bisuna. Al-haqqa. بالباطل. باطل. Okay, and then it goes on to something else. Excuse me. I just want to make sure my microphone is on. Yes, it is. Okay, so again, we just talked about the word haq, and here it is again that's appearing. And here's our word, bilbatil. Okay. So the meaning here is Ya Ahl al-Kitabi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referencing the people of the book, and he is saying to them that Lima, why you are changing, you're mixing what is the truth, what is al-haq, what is the reality, to bil-batili, to something that is not real, something that is false, made up, something that it was created, from yourselves, basically. So this, I think, this refers to the books that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has sent to the Ahl al-Kitab, the people of the book, the scriptures that's been touched and changed and whatnot. Okay, so let's just go ahead and erase everything, inshallah, and we'll come back with the new set of words. I know we have seems like we have space here, but I don't have enough space for my hand to move so I can write properly. Okay. Okay, next word we have is hikmah. Hikmah. Put hikmatun. So the root is hakama, and it means wisdom. I think we've talked about this before. Hakim, remember we talked about the attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the previous lessons. We talked about Hakim. So the same root word, hakama, to have wisdom. So the wisdom is the meaning. Wise, wisdom, and all of that. Okay, so the example we have here, there's something before it, and then it says وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمْ I think I have this right. Yeah. Muhumul kitaba al-kitaba wal hikmata. Hikmata. Wa yuzakkihim. Wa yuzakkihim. Yuzakkihim. When there's a sukun and it stops there, I think there's a jim. And then it continues. So this is our word, al-hikmah. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. And what is said before this, that it's talking about the Prophet ﷺ, that he is being sent to us for what purpose? So he may teach us, yu'allimuhum, meaning that he will teach them, meaning us, what? Al-kitaba, the book, which is the Qur'an. What else? Wal-hikmah, and the wisdom that goes with it. Not all of us can just read the Quran and say, oh, I understand exactly what it says and make decisions. No, so you need the Prophet ﷺ to be able to give you the explanation, the tafsir of what is Allah talking about, what does he want us to do. Because if we all translate it according to our own wills, that's going to be some problems there. And also, وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ, and at the same time, once you have the book and you're giving the hikmah and the wisdom and how to follow through it and how to do things and all of that, then you will become purified. You will be purified. Meaning, so as you're reading the book and you're understanding, inshallah, doing all of that, then by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're automatically becoming pure. You're purifying yourself. So that he is purifying us, meaning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending him by the book and the wisdom, and therefore then we become purified. All right, so next word is hamd. Hamada is the root. The meaning is praise. And like, let's say that thanks is in here as well. Praise, thanks. Okay. So the example we have, of course, that we read every day. Alhamdu. Alhamdu lillahi. Oh, sorry, this is not here. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alameen. La Alameen. And then it stops there. Okay. So here's the word alhamd. We read this in Surah Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Of course, this means that all praise, all thanks are lillahi, is for Allah. And who is Allah? He is the Rabbil Alameen. He is the Lord of the worlds. The basic translation, basically, the Rabb of the worlds. Okay, let's see. I think I will go ahead and, because the next one we have, it's a long one, so I'm not going to have enough space. I'll be right back. Okay, so next word we have is deen. And it is dal. Yeah, noon. Okay, deen. It means several things. First of all, it means, of course, religion. It also means law. It also means judgment. When you, okay, let's not get into that, so I don't want to confuse everybody. But okay, so deen, that's what it means. Those are some of the translations as far as what it means. And the example we have from the Qur'an, let's go ahead and write it. أفغير غير sorry, this is غير أفغير دين الله يبغون وله أسلم من في السماوات في السماوات والأرض. And then it continues. Okay. Here's the word deen. Okay. أفغير دين الله يبغون وله أسلم من في السماوات والأرض. And it goes on. So here, Remember we talked about is a particle of questioning. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking a question from us, and he's saying, is it that you are yabghuna, meaning that you're in search of, you're looking for, you wanting something else other than dinillah, the religion, law, judgment, and all of these things will apply here. Then, but for the most translation, they just um, translate it as religion. So here's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, is it that you are in search or looking or you wanting, you're desiring other than the religion of Allah? While for him, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything that is in the samawat and the heavens, wal ardi, and the earth is already aslama. They have already submitted themselves or themselves or itself or whatever. So basically Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that what are you looking for? Everything that already in the heavens and on the earth, it's already accepted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God. They have already submitted themselves to God. So what is it that you're looking for? Like basically like where are you going? Right? So this is kind of the context of this ayah. All right, inshallah. So the next word we have is let's see here. We have zakat or zakah. Zakatun, or so the root is zakawa. Just to remind you again, you're probably saying, why is there a wow in the root letter? I don't see a wow in here, but remember we talked about it. Sometimes the wow and the ya, sometimes they're dropped, sometimes they're changed, a wow into alif or a ya into wow or something like that. So just kind of keep that in mind, inshallah. And here's one of those situations that's happened. Zakah. So zakah means also, excuse me, poor due, to do, to pay for the poor. Zakah also means charity. Zakah also means purification. It could be purification of oneself and our and mal and our belongings, our wealth and all of that. So the example we have here, there's something before it, and it says Rabbuhuma khayram minhu zakata. It's kind of spelled differently here. Zakata wa, let's just write it here, wa aqraba ruhma. Okay, it stops there. So here is our word. All right. ربهما خيرا منه زكاة وأقرب رحمة. This is it's talking about, I believe this was from Surah Kahf, and the husband and wife, the couple that had a little boy, and then Khidr alayhi salam, I think he kills him, and then later on when he is explaining to Musa alayhi salam as to why he did what he did, so he is telling Musa alayhi salam that the reason I did that is because the little boy was going to grow up to be a tyrant, uh, you know, a zalim over his parents, you know, so therefore we got rid of him by the will of Allah. Then ربهما خير منه, then we hoping that their Lord, huma, remember we talked about the pronouns, the singular, dual, and plural. And here, huma, it comes for dual, for two people. So it's talking about that couple. So Rabbuhuma, the Lord of those two people, that he might give them khair, meaning something better. Khayr minhu zakah, something that is probably righteous and pure and wholesome and good, and all of this comes in there. That their Lord might give them something good and better and righteous, and someone who is aqraba ruhma, who is more close to mercy, who would have mercy upon his parents. Okay, as you can see, we need to get the board clean, and we'll be right back. Okay, so next word is shaheed. Shahidun. Okay, and then let me see. Shuhada is the plural. So this is the plural, and the root is shahada, and the meaning is witness, present. All right. So the example we have is Wallahu Wallahu shahidun ala shahidun ala ma ta'malun ma ta'malun ta'malun. Okay, let's highlight our word shaheed, meaning a witness, present. Okay, so here the meaning, of course there's something before it, and then it says wallahu shahidun ala ma ta'malun, and Allah is a witness. Basically he is present right now, right this second. He is present. Doesn't matter where you go, Allah is always present. Allah is always a witness. He's a shahid. So shaheed here, it's something, remember we talked about like rahim and kareem and azim. These are all that fall on that certain pattern. So shaheed is also, there's something that it's a constant, perpetual thing that keeps going. So in the case of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he never forgets. It's not a moment that he is not there, he's not present, and he's not watching, he's witnessing everything. So here it says, Wallahu shahidun ala ma ta'malun. And Allah himself is saying that he is a witness, he's watching everything, he is present upon what you are doing. Amalu, amala means to do something, ta'malun meaning that you guys are doing right now, doing that, anything. All right, so we have the next word is salah. Salatun. So we have salawat. Salah means, okay, let's do the color coordination here. Prayer. One might say this, it means like dua, like you're sending salah upon the Prophet ﷺ. So you're making a dua for him. You're making a prayer for him. So these could fall in there. And also this salah, prayer, that kind of prayer, and prayer like when we actually physically perform our salah, which we do the 5 times prayers. So let's give the example here. There's something here, and then it says marratin min qabli salah salat al-fajr. It's fajri, and then it goes on. So here is, excuse me, a word. I do apologize for me clearing my throat constantly. I don't know, allergies or something. It's just been kind of crazy. But anyways, I do apologize for that. Okay, so the example is here, I think this was from Surah Al-Baqarah, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the 3 times that, where you were supposed to have your privacy, and that, somebody else is not going to just walk in on you without them, taking permission before entering the room or the area that you're in. So, and then it says something, something. And then from that, there's like 3 times, marat, meaning like times, min qabli salat al-fajr, before salah, before the prayer time for morning, for fajr. And I think the other time is when, for in the afternoon, where you go for a nap, you change your clothes, and back in those days, in Arabia, people used to, because it used to be so hot, and nobody would go out in the afternoon, and people would take naps, and so they would change their clothes from outside clothes. They come home and change, and then so during those times that it's said that those are one of the times that you're supposed to like, first of all, you have to give them privacy, and then if you have to, then you have to knock before you go in. And then the third time, it is after Salatul Aisha, which is the last prayer of the day. So because that's the time that people are already changed into their evening clothes, and they're getting ready, or some people are already asleep in bed. So those were the 3 times. Okay, and then we have, I'm going to go ahead and erase this and give you the last 2 words that we have, inshallah. Okay, next word we have is mubin. Mubin. And the next word that I'm going to have, there's going to be a ayah for where it has both of the words in one. So I'm going to go ahead and write this here. Nur. Okay. So the root is bayana, and then it's the same thing, pretty much it's the same thing here. Okay. And the meaning is, mubin means clear. It also means like self-expressive. And here, nun mean, sorry, nur. Also, mubin, bayan is to make something known. Okay, nur is, of course, is light. Okay, now we have an ayah from the Qur'an. I'm going to write that, and it applies to both of them. قد جاءكم 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 من الله من الله نور وكتاب وكتاب كتاب مبين. مبين. And then it stops there. Okay. So let's highlight the words that we're talking about. Nur and then mubin. Okay. So قد جاءكم من الله نور وكتاب مبين. قد meaning قد جاء, and surely it's come to you. جاءكم meaning kum, that is for everybody. That has come to you from Allah. What? Nur, a light. And a kitab, a book that is clear, that is self-expressive, that is so basically it's open. I mean, it's you. There's kind of like so many meanings for mubin, but basically for just sometimes when we translate, they call that like zahiri translation. So it's like basically you see the word and you translate it as is. So you're not diving deep into the meaning. So this would be just the zahir meaning. So which means clear or self-expressive, or it's evident, you know. All right, inshallah, let's just go ahead and go over the words real quick before we end our video. So we talked about amr, umur, meaning it's matter or affair or affairs or matters. Taqwa means a piety, fear, or protection. Haqq means true, truth, or right. Batil, it's falsehood. Hikmah is wisdom. Hamd is praise and thanks. Deen means religion, law, or judgment. Zakah is to pay for the poor, charity, and also zakah means to purify. Okay, the next word is shaheed or shuhada. It's shaheed means to be present, to be a witness. And salah is, we talked about the different meaning of salah. We said that it means, first of all, it means prayer, like we do the 5 times daily prayers. That's your salah. And then also we send salawat upon the Prophet ﷺ. So that's another type of prayer that we send. So that also means salah. And then we have mubin, which means clear and self-expressive, known, evident. Those are the meaning. And then nur, of course, means light. All right, inshallah, we will stop here until next video. Assalamu alaikum.